The news that every single active immigrant visa in the United States, all 55 million of them, is now under review. Yes, you heard that right. According to the latest statement from the Trump administration, they are taking a closer look at every visa currently in the system. If you're living in the US on a green card, a work visa, or even waiting for a family-based visa, this news probably has you feeling uneasy. And you're not alone. Millions of immigrants across America are asking the same questions right now. What does this mean for me? Will my visa be canceled? Could this affect my pathway to citizenship? These aren't small concerns. This is about your future, your family, and your stability in the country you call home. Now, before you panic, let's break down what's really going on here. When the government says review, it doesn't always mean cancel, but it does mean more scrutiny, more background checks, and possibly longer processing times. For some, it might mean additional documentation or even interviews. And yes, in certain cases, it could lead to denials or revocations if they find irregularities. But here's the good news. You can stay prepared and protect yourself. In this video, we're going to unpack everything. Why this review is happening now, who is most likely to be affected, and the practical steps you can take today to stay safe and secure your status. I'll also share tips that immigration lawyers are recommending right now so you know exactly how to respond. If you're an immigrant living in the US or waiting for your visa to be approved, you need to watch this video until the end, because missing even one detail could cost you time, money, and possibly your legal status. And before we dive in, do me one quick favor. If you care about staying informed and protecting your future in this country, hit that like button right now. It helps more immigrants like you see this important information, and it lets me know you want more updates just like this. All right, let's get into it. First, let's talk about why this massive review of 55 million active immigrant visas is even happening. According to the Trump administration, this is part of a broader effort to tighten immigration policies, increase national security, and ensure that every visa holder is fully compliant with U.S. laws. Now, those words, national security and compliance, sound reasonable on the surface. But what does that really mean for you and your family? It means every application, every approval, and every active visa is now under a magnifying glass. The government wants to verify if there are any cases of fraud, any expired information, or any individuals who might be violating the terms of their stay. That includes things like overstaying a visa, working in jobs that don't match your visa category, or even something as simple as not updating your address when you move. Yes, something as small as failing to update your address can now raise red flags during this review. But here's the part that has so many immigrants worried. This review isn't just targeting a small group. It's all-encompassing. Whether you're on an H-1B work visa, a student visa, a green card holder, or you have a pending family-based petition, you're technically part of this review. That means millions of people, from highly skilled workers to international students to long-time permanent residents, are asking the same thing. Is my future in the US secure? Now, let's break this down in a way that makes sense. For most immigrants, a review doesn't mean an automatic problem. In fact, if your documents are in order and you're following the rules, chances are you're going to be fine. But it does mean you should be extra cautious and proactive. Think of it like this. When the IRS announces they're doing more audits, most people who've been paying their taxes correctly don't get into trouble. But if you've made mistakes or ignored small requirements, that's when problems start. The same principle applies here. So what could this review involve? From what we know so far, the Department of Homeland Security and USCIS are likely to run background checks, verify personal information, and make sure visa holders are living and working according to the terms of their status. They may also flag cases for further investigation if they find discrepancies, like mismatched employment details, unclear financial records, or any hint of fraud. This doesn't mean they'll knock on your door tomorrow, but it does mean they have the authority to dig deeper into your case if something looks off. Now, I know this sounds stressful, And trust me, I get it. Many immigrants have gone through years of waiting, mountains of paperwork, and thousands of dollars in fees just to get legal status. The thought of all that being questioned now can feel overwhelming. But the best way to handle this is to stay informed and take action where you can. Ignoring the situation or hoping it doesn't affect you is the worst thing you can do. One of the first steps you can take is to review your own documents. Is your visa still valid? Have you updated your address with USCIS every time you moved? Are you working in the correct job position that matches your visa category? If you're on an H-1B, for example, and you switched employers without filing for an amendment, that could be a red flag. These small details matter now more than ever because the review is designed to catch inconsistencies. Another key thing to keep in mind is your online activity. Yes, immigration officers do sometimes check social media and other public information. If you're saying one thing on your visa application and posting something completely different online, that can raise questions. For instance, if your visa states you're living in Texas, but your Instagram shows you in California for months on end, that could look suspicious. So be mindful and make sure your information matches your reality. For those of you with pending applications, this review could also mean longer processing times. If you've been waiting months or even years for a family-based petition or employment-based green card, prepare for possible delays. It doesn't necessarily mean denial, but it does mean the government is taking a closer look at every file. So patience will be important, but so will vigilance. Check your case status regularly, respond quickly to any requests for evidence, and keep copies of everything you send in. Now, let's talk about what happens if you get a notice of review or an interview request. First of all, don't panic. Getting an interview notice doesn't automatically mean something bad. It could just mean they need to verify details. But you should take it seriously. Bring every document they ask for, and if you're unsure about anything, consult an immigration attorney. Having legal guidance can make a huge difference, especially if your case has any complications. And here's something important. Don't fall for scams. Whenever big immigration changes happen, scammers come out of the woodwork offering guaranteed visa protection or fast-track approvals for a fee. Don't trust anyone who makes those promises. The only people who can legally help with immigration cases are licensed attorneys or accredited representatives. If someone is asking for money and guaranteeing results, that's a red flag. So, who is most at risk in this review? Based on past policies, individuals with criminal records, visa overstays, or inconsistent documentation are likely to face more scrutiny. If you've ever had a visa denial in the past or you're currently in removal proceedings, this review could impact you more than someone with a clean record. That's why, if you fall into any of those categories, now is the time to seek professional advice. But for most law-abiding immigrants, the main takeaway is this: stay compliant, stay informed, and don't ignore official notices. This review is big, but it's not the end of the world. Think of it as an extra layer of security that you can navigate successfully if you're prepared. Before we wrap up, I want to say this. Being an immigrant in America is already challenging. You've worked hard, sacrificed so much, and followed the rules to build a life here. Don't let fear or misinformation control your decisions. The best thing you can do right now is stay calm, stay organized, and take proactive steps to protect your status. And remember, this review doesn't erase your rights. You still have protections under U.S. law, and knowing those rights is power. Now, in the next part of this video, I'm going to share 5 practical tips immigration lawyers are recommending right now to stay safe during this review period. These are things you can start doing immediately to protect yourself and your family. So don't go anywhere. And if you haven't already, make sure to smash that like button so more immigrants like you can get this crucial information.